absolute, terrifying power. The man who held Europe in his fist, ruled supreme over men, cannons, and coalitions. But his greatest foe was not even human. July 1807. The Treaty of Tilsit. The Empire celebrates with a hunt.
The task: procure game for the Emperor's sport. The instruction: a spectacle. The error: unforgivable.
Because they were not the wild, fearful hares expected. They were farm stock. They knew one thing about humans.
They knew that humans meant sustenance. They saw the hunters not as a threat, but as a promise.
The sound! And they ran, not away from the guns, not for freedom, but toward the center of the field, accelerating with unnatural focus.
At first, Napoleon laughed, a conqueror's chuckle, amused by the rabbit's confusion. This was sport, after all. But the swarm did not break. It coalesced. 1,000 individual hungers merging into one.
Berthier saw the truth first. The look of expectation in their eyes. The terrifying, single-minded need for food.
The Emperor tried to swat them away with his riding crop. The great tactician reduced to battling a tide of hungry fur. They weren't wild, just persistent. A harmless curiosity that would soon unravel control itself.
A calm afternoon in the meadow. A pause in motion, shared between people and nature. The coachmen were ordered to help, not with horses, but with their heavy leather whips. A desperate, futile measure.
Berthier, the great strategist, found his commands useless. The bunnies ignored hierarchy. They only recognized hunger. Then came the twist. The horde halted, and with a chilling, synchronized move,
The Emperor, the master strategist of Europe, was staring at an enemy using his own signature move. Disbelief turned to fury.
he was immobilized. The conqueror of Austerlitz could not even walk. He was forced to abandon the field.
Defeat, not by a foreign army, but by a logistical oversight. Napoleon ordered the only thing possible: retreat. He fled to the velvet sanctuary of his imperial carriage, saved, or so he thought. They were already too close.
But the strategy of the rabbits was flawless. They had studied his tactics. They refused to concede the field.
They seemed intrigued by the grand carriage, a quiet, harmless curiosity following the journey of an emperor.
The Emperor could face down any general, but the silent, unified desperation of hunger, that broke him.
A quiet moment inside the carriage chow. Stillness settling over every corner of the journey.
For a few desperate seconds, the fate of the French Empire was decided in a scramble on the velvet floor. The Emperor fought back, a final, ignominious act of self-defense. Victory by ejection. The attack ceased only when the carriage was out of sight. The field belonged to the rat. The journey back was silent. The conqueror was defeated, his great prestige bruised. Berthier, the man responsible for the logistical horror, knew his career hung by a single, fraying thread of silk.
The party returned to the chateau. The war was over. The embarrassing evidence, however, was not so easily discarded.
The Emperor's order was absolute. This event did not happen. The details of the hunt were to be erased from all memory.
Logbooks were corrected. Testimonies were adjusted. The official record would show a successful, if brief, outing.
But history always finds way.
Decades later, whispered accounts and forgotten memoirs would emerge. The shame had been recorded, waiting for the right moment to surface.
This was the empire built on iron, strategy, and fear. An empire that stretched from Spain to Poland.
And yet, every fortress has a weak point. Every conqueror has a vulnerability no cannon can defend against. History remembers battles and victories, yet meaning is often found in moments of quiet, where nothing seems to happen at all.
The fatal flaw wasn't military strategy or artillery placement. It was a simple breakdown in communication.
1,000 hungry mouths were organized by instinct.
And so, the greatest victory of the Napoleonic era went not to a general, but...
The lesson is clear. Even emperors cannot escape the consequences of a simple, hungry misunderstanding.
What is the true cost of supreme confidence? When the thing you fear least becomes the most devastating force?
For those who were there, the event was a constant, lurking shadow. A secret shared.
Napoleon defeated the armies of kings, but he could never defeat the sheer, absurd irony of his rabbit retreat.
The story, once released, was unkillable. A constant, humiliating shadow cast over the legacy of the great emperor.
It became the favorite joke of his enemies. A secret weapon wielded not by armies, but by pens.
And it poses the question, what seemingly small, insignificant detail in your own life could
A series of quiet observations, rabbits in their natural environment, calm and undisturbed.
History is often decided not by massive forces, but by a single, tiny detail you never thought to check.
What is the most bizarre, untold historical event you've ever heard? Tell us your favorite strange history story.
Every legend has a truth. Every truth has a dark, weird secret.
If this story shocked you, share it. Let the world know that even Napoleon was defeated by bunnies.
This is the power of strange history. It lingers.
Every genius must account for fate. Every empire must account for error. The humiliation was his cross to bear. The cost of a simple mistake, measured in an emperor's silent rage.
Subscribe and turn on notifications for more bizarre, shocking stories they don't teach in school.